Mighty Vikings, I welcome you to Rue Valley, a game made by Emotion Spark Studios, published by Alcat Games. If you remember our playthrough for Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous, Pathfinder Kingmaker, and the Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader, that was Alcat's production. That accumulated enough money so they now can help other developing teams that make interesting and unique games to come out and present their game, aka they become a publisher. And since we're friends with Alcat Games, I got access to Rue Valley. I probably am butchering the name of it. Rue Valley is an isometric RPG, so top-down view with choice matters, and our main protagonist is kind of like captured in a time loop. So we're probably going to have to find a way to break out of the time loop. I'm not sure how far the story goes in terms of like how long this is, so buckle up for a very narrative RPG. I'm not sure if it's voice acted yet already. If it will be voice acted at all, I'll try my best to give the characters voices and you know, read the text out for you, so you can just lay back, eat some popcorn, enjoy, and we gotta decide together, okay, Chad? So I'll need your full attention here because we have to do a lot of decisions from what I've read, and I'll let you do the deciding. So whenever there's like situation things, I'll very often will ask you, okay, Chad, what are we doing? And then you will decide what are we doing. And if it's good or bad, I'll blame you then. Right? So I don't care to blame. So I'm just your executioners of your thoughts into the actions. Sounds good? I hope so. I hope so. And with that, let's hop on in and have a look at Rue Valley and what this concept is all about. And thanks again to Alcat Games. Big shout out for letting me have a look at Filthy Jester also rating in. Welcome aboard, Jester and Jesters. With that, Mighty Vikings, let us start in and have a look. New game in Rue Valley. Welcome to Rue Valley. Keep in mind that you are playing a pre-alpha version of the game. While you will experience the story in an intended way, you will also encounter environments, characters in animation, voice acting, and visual effects that are still in placeholder phase. Fair enough, fair enough. This is a very early build, but I nonetheless appreciate for us letting have a chance to look at it so early. I understand. So, define a character personality. Oh my goodness. Okay, how are we? You feel neither calculated nor impulsive, but alert and confident. If you only could stay in a state of perfect focus. Resolute. So I can put points into here. Okay, on the bottom we have available points. And I can become even... And then I can have some traits over here as well. Oh, there we go. There's some sounds coming in. Impatient, reckless. So, chat, what kind of character do we think of? Okay? Let's focus on a character, and let's see what kind of personality we are coming up with. And just discuss this in a few... Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay. Okay. So, Chad has created our character. We are a reckless guy who is nosy and arrogant combined, and also very sensitive, aka dramatic. So, being called is quite impulsive. Being called quite impulsive is just another way of saying you're a doer, not a thinker. Yeah, definitely not a thinker. Being very extroverted person only means you are assertive and open, not pushy and vain. Am I right or am I right? A somewhat sensitive person, you easily empathize with others and are prone to surrender to your own emotion. This sounds like a cocktail for disaster, but it's on you. Let's proceed. It's on you. Let's proceed. Wind sounds. Let me know how the audio mixes as well, Chad. 7:59 p.m. 8 p.m.
The frenetic sound coming from a century-old clock nudges you back to the present. The stale air perfects the image of the old motel room.
I'm really liking the art style. Beep, beep. Beep, beep. Beep, beep. Total lack of motivation, says our character over here. And then we can see here again impulsive or noisy and arrogant things.
Still with me, Mr. Harrow?
It is voice acted. Oh, comic style emblems over here. That's interesting as well. The doctor says, "Are still with me, Mr. Harrow?" Just nod.
Mr. Harrow, I'm aware that you may be experiencing a slight lack of motivation right now.
Is that so?
Slight lack of motivation. More like total lack of motivation.
Interesting voice acting. Is he talking to himself?
You'd rather stay in bed all day instead of attending this joke of a therapy in the middle of nowhere.
And we'll surely be coming back to this condition of yours later during our sessions.
Okay. So we're having therapy. We seems like to have a big lack of motivation. Probably suffering under depression and not have any driver in our life to push ourselves to do things.
But for now, I just want you to acknowledge its existence and try to stay aware of it at all times, if possible.
Wants to stay. Okay, so we should stay aware of our lack of motivation.
The silence befalls the room. A muffled sound of clanging from the outside only making the moment more uncomfortable.
Okay. Chat, let me know if you have to turn up the volume. So something clanging outside. Blocked by dramatic, I'm fine. Oh, so our skills, it's blinking now behind me. The sensitive skill was blinking for a moment. We cannot do this because we are dramatic. I'm fine. Okay. Interesting. So our character traits will gray out certain things, forcing us to take other things. That's calls for a lot of replayability and different experience every time somebody plays this. I'll try.
That's good to hear. Now, in order to keep us focused, I always limit the session length to exactly 1 hour, hence the alarm.
Okay.
However, since this is your first session, I'll allow a few questions, if there's anything.
Would I know the best whether I need another session or not? Arrogant.
Mr. Harrow, your case is not to be overlooked. We need to assess the situation carefully.
Why?
Your case. Not so long ago, nobody cared about what you do. Yet now, suddenly, your business is everyone's business.
This first session is more for you to get acquainted with me and my methods. We have a long road ahead of us.
If you say so, Mr. Doctor.
Any other questions?
Can you just simply state that I'm fine and we can both go our ways?
Mr. Harrow, that is out of the question. This
Looks
is a
straight in the
court-ordered
eye.
therapy, and both of us could be fined or worse if we don't see it through.
Board order therapy? What have you done? Have you lost our job and we have like, are we on state money?
And I have my own professional reasons, besides the legal ones. You require help, and I've been designated to provide it.
Okay.
I've never let a client down, and I'm not about to do it now.
You're here.
Anything else?
Very altruistic of you, Mr. Doctor. Why do I have to do this here in the middle of nowhere?
It may be hard to understand the need for isolation at first, but my
Isolation?
methods require complete divergence from the client's regular way of life, as well as temporary distancing from their social groups and circles.
Oh, so you want us to meet on neutral territory, so to say, in order to, what, not be affected by anything?
This place is ideal in that regard. However, it's understandable that you need a period of adaptation to both this idea and to your new surroundings.
Okay.
That's also
How long
why
are we
I
here?
haven't asked you to hand over your phone yet. But please don't be alarmed. We'll talk about all of it in due time.
Your eyes are having a hard time with the flickering of the art style. Your devs, maybe, and quality of life improvements to just have the outline fix the door without it moving. Let's be nosy. So you live here?
I'm flattered that you're interested to know more about me, but we are not here to discuss my life. In fact, getting personal may derail our progress.
Is that so, Mr.
All right
Doctor?
then. That's it for today.
But maybe our character's into you, Doctor.
Through the door, you hear that sound again.
Okay. What sound is
Go
through the
and
door?
check in at the office. Your room is probably ready by now.
Okay. Getting up and leave. Okay, so we're moving out.
Give me my coffee, you jerk!
Somebody's angry out here. Smacking on... She's all in on this here. Okay. Oh, that's not just a you thing, Draz. Social motion sickness in games in general is a present thing, and people become more and more aware of it. And yeah, Lucky 13 Panavision, thank you kindly for a tier 3 sub for 13 months. You crazy malaka. Man, I highly appreciate that. Thank you kindly. How are you doing? Fantastic. So, leave her be. We'll see.
Spit it out already!
She looks cool. Okay, so I guess she's not having a good time with...
Come on, you thief!
Okay, so we can click to move around. Is there any settings yet so far? No.
If I have to.
We can zoom out. We can zoom even further in. We can right-click to highlight everything. The highlight has also a little bit of a drawing, cartoonish, flickering thing.
Give me
Or we can tab to do the same thing. Okay. Let's have a look. What's going on with her? Can we help her? We're nosy. Observe her actions closely. She's completely focused on the ancient machine and mumbling something under her breath. From time to time, though, a grunt of a few words come out loud.
spit it out already!
Ancient machine. So is the machine either old or are we in the far future? Could she be here to therapy as well? Who knows? But unlike you, she definitely looks like she needs it. So we're talking to ourselves. Big shout out to this Elysium. Poor woman, she couldn't consult with real professional, not a charlatan like Dr. Fink. Nobody needs to be sent away from their home to this dump, regardless of their mental state. Nobody needs to be sent away. And yet, what should be done with lunatics like her? Let them rage around freely, yelling and kicking vending machines whenever they go? Well, if they're breaking the law, they should be sent to prison, obviously. Nah, there must be a better way to help a distressed person. Far future shooter. Wow. The tranquilizer. Panda. Luckily, you're not being here when we created a character. Who knows what kind of character we've ended up with. Perhaps you could speak with her, see if you could help her somehow. Blocked by total lack of motivation that is over our character. So because I'm not motivated at all to interact with her, I cannot even speak with her. Interesting. One of the total lack of motivation is because
Come on, you thief!
how we created the character, or is that a general state of the beginning? Do we have any quest log or noticed to see? He said we should look into the office. Oh, double click is running. Okay. So Rue Valley Motel, free Wi-Fi, AC, phone, cleaned rooms, vending machine. To the office. I have no clue what that is. The transfer lines is buzzing softly. I like this comic pop-up art style, really artsy. So, office. Their motel office, okay. The colors have been bleached by the sun, but you can still make out an image of orange setting sun, as well as the words Rue Valley writing above the illustration. Inspect it. The picture is quite detailed, but the colors have been obliterated by the sun, making it impossible to discern the main subject, let alone finer details. Squint your eyes and try to make sense of the confusing shapes, but everything seems blurred and distorted. However, as you keep looking, you finally start to see a magnificent stage, a ballerina dancing gracefully, and a lively group of musicians, in an audience dressed in formal attire. Look at the stage. The stage is adorned with elegant curtains, and a strange chandelier is hanging from the edge of the poster. Inspect the ballerina. Ballerina wearing a tutu stands in the center of the poster and point, with her arms gracefully extended above her head, almost like she's waving at you. What about the orchestra? Varnished wood of violins is reflecting the orange hues of the setting sun. What about the audience? Men appear to be dressed in tuxedos and women in elegant evening gowns. They seem to be fixated on stage. Their overly stylized face seemingly express a range of emotions from awe to excitement. Interesting. Love the tunes here. If this gets a full voice act and you get that presented as an nearly in a kind of like audiobook manner, oh, chef's kiss. So it's coiled like a serpent, but I need to go into the office to see if our room is ready.
Yes, I'm sure.
Sure about what? Well, the attention of the girl is behind the counter is granted by an ongoing phone call. Social check. Try to get at her attention. Oh, we have a check now. I'm curious. How does that work? It's easy. Just be loud enough and she won't be able to ignore you. Why was it red blinking? Does that mean we are failing the check or not? Or just an indicator if there's a check happening? Ring the desk bell and smile. Bing!
Please sit down, sir. I'll be with you in a moment.
Chat, should we be arrogant on this? We failed when it's becoming red? Okay. Should we... Excuse me? As you're paying as a guest, I demand your attention right now. Or should we be nosy and just listen in what she's talking about? She's like, no, sit down, go. Well, what do you chat? One or two? Quickly. We're gonna pick whatever number is coming up in chat. I told you, I need your full attention here, your full focus. This needs to be fast interaction. Demand to speak to her manager. Okay, so we should be arrogant. Excuse me. As your paying guest, I demand your attention right now. Your chest swells with indignation. Now, dare she ignore you? Oh, how dare. But the only reaction you get from her is a quick side glance and a nod. You even wonder if the nod was meant for you or the phone buddy.
Giant donut sign. I have no idea where you are.
This is outrageous. I want to see the manager. What I care when we are. Oh my goodness gracious. Your heart pounds in frustration, but this time the receptionist doesn't seem to even register your words.
Yes. Now, turn right, and then immediately take a slight left.
Okay, she's explaining somebody the... Yeah, she ignored us completely again. And she's explaining somebody the roads, apparently. Maybe to this place? Let's try to listen in. Out of curiosity, you lean closer and pick up your ears, hoping you'd catch what the other person is saying too. Pull the Magnum 44. You like her already? I would do exactly the same. If somebody would come up to me and be like this and carrying around, I'll either show them the door or be like, extra taking my time. Alas, what little you manage to comprehend is but a dull description of a traffic congestion by someone caught in it, accompanied by futile attempts to communicate their location to the receptionist.
Sounds like you missed the exit.
Ha! Minute by minute, your curiosity subdues as your attention slowly breaks down, but you're still mindlessly listening to the receptionist's call for some time.
Can you see the industrial compressor sign? No?
I heard the no myself as well. Just the other person on the other line. Okay.
No, it wouldn't. We need
Then-
it today.
Let's take a seat then over here. Sit down. This chair looks very sturdy. Let's mess with our phone while we're waiting. Very typical 21st first century thing. Do you guys actually, when you sit somewhere and wait, just wait and look around, or maybe try to interact with the people around you who are also waiting, or are you pulling out your phone and be like, I don't know, checking messages, emails, watching some VODs? Do you interact with your surroundings, or are you like zoning into your bubble? I'm kind of curious. You don't have to share in chat, of course, if you don't want to. But I'm curious about that. Let's bring out the phone. Mess with your phone while you're waiting. The phone bleeps alive and years-old wallpapers greets you. If it wasn't a collection of pixels on a screen, it would be musty with age and neglect. What we call in this interactions, if we get like a big zoom picture of the phone and him clicking on something, you know, have like a more visual interaction as well to the very visual text. Scroll through your feed to kill some time. Play a quick match of hyper-casual protagonist while you wait. Hyper-casual protagonist. That sounds like an RPG I would play. The first wave of tiny bow tie wearing antagonist appears on your phone screen. Touch one of them. You tap the one carrying a golden fork and he instantly turns into an amorphous purple splodge. A matching splodging sound effect placed at the same time, further confirming that the bow tie wearing golden fork carrying antagonist is no more. I guess I'm supposed to squash them all. Sighs and continues to squash them. Minutes pass, but the phone call is still not on its end. Oh, Jesus. How long does this take?
No. That would lead you right back to the barricade.
It's back to the phone. Let's scroll through our feeds to kill some time. Start scrolling through stale memes, boring new articles, beach photos of ex-acquaintances, and poorly targeted sponsor posts. Scroll some more. In one picture, a grinning middle-aged stranger is apparently showcasing his newest baby. Thanks to a cleverly applied filter, both of them sports donkey ears. In an overly long and slightly racist video, a non-native speaker is repeatedly making an embarrassing linguistic errors. They often turn out to be an unintentional double entendres. Hilarity ensues. Innkeeper, how you doing? Welcome in. Continue scrolling. Some more time passes. She's still on the phone? She's still on the phone! Jesus.
You're at the giant donut again? Crap.
Oh no! Just sit patiently and do nothing. Dum, 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 dum. Hey, there we go. Finally, she hang up.
All right. I understand. Yes. Bye. I'm so sorry for the wait. That was a super important call and I had to do it right now. There was literally no other way. Hopefully you didn't mind waiting.
It felt like hours!
I'm very sorry about it.
Makes a face as she's about to burst into tears. Is she mocking you?
All right then. Let's get you into your room.
It's not enthusiasm if her voice catches you unaware. What's the deal with this girl?
So, Number 6.
Number
That's the
6?
last one on the second floor. Everything is prepared for you, and this is your key card.
Let's nod and wait for her to put it on the counter.
I see you're confused by this. You were expecting an old-fashioned key, weren't you? Well, we've decided to modernize for a number of reasons.
Let's just snatch her card. Gimme. You grab the card from her hand and she stops in the middle of the sentence with a shocked expression in her face.
Wow. All right. I'll
Put
need
some-
your signature here.
Puts some kind of document on the quarter. Sign it.
Thank you. I'm here if you need anything. Enjoy your stay.
Bye. Wow. Chad, you have created the biggest prick ever. Off we go. Off you go. We are avenged for letting us been waiting so long. So... Okay. Top floor. Number 6, she said. I mean, we did wait like an eternity. There's number 5. There's number 6. The paint is peeling from the wood and the door, but number 6 is new, shiny and chrome. Lock the door with your cards. A tiny green dot of the light shows up near the knob. The door is unlocked. Enter the room. Can't believe it, you'll never know why they modernized to a keycard, you monster. It's on you, chat. It's on you. It's not on me. Is my suitcase in there already? So let's go to the bathroom. This whole talk made me very uncomfortable. Let's wash our face a little bit. Look at the mirror. The mirror splotches make interesting patterns in your face. They cover a dark circle here, a mole there, a patch of wrinkles. I know the face too well, and no need to discern every little detail. Truth be told, you prefer not to look at it. Look at it again. A stranger that looks exactly like you is looking straight into your eye. Let's leave. Okay. Nothing in the bathroom. We cannot take a wee-wee. Okay, bed. Hundreds of strangers have slept in this bed, leaving behind flakes of dead skin. Still, you can't wait to jump into the sheets and contribute to the collection. Why would you write it like that? I'm never gonna go into a hotel anymore. But between you and the object of your desire is a folded sheets lay a dusty suitcase. Your suitcase, the smallest one you own. Can't deal with this now. Just put it away. Yeah, it's such a chore, but the more you prolong it, the worse it will get. If you don't unpack now, it'd feel even harder and more pointless to do later. Step by step, a simple act of unpacking will become an insurmountable burden, and even thinking about it will make you feel weak and powerless. No! Not unpacking! Do you really want to crawl into bed? It's my destiny to repeat this vicious cycle of misery and regret. Just put the suitcase away. Well, living out of a suitcase is the surest way to feel transient. This way you can at least continue telling yourself that the therapy will be over soon. And now that your suitcase is dealt with, this motel room is officially your home. More like a prison. Well, now you could describe it that way too. Misery. You want to fall into bed? Plonk. I cannot crawl into bed, no. Fall into the bed with all your weight. It creaks and squirms, and a cloud of dust and skin particles rises up. I need to wash my mouth. Am I still here as a good animation? That's okay. That's for you guys to find out when you play it on your side. Too reckless to crawl into bed. Yeah. As soon as your hand touches the rough pillow, though, tiredness overwhelms you. Coming to this nowhere motel to attend therapy you don't need has drained you both physically and mentally. You are desperate to get some sleep. Yet after weeks of wakeful nights, you know it won't come that easy. Close your eyes. Just count some sheeps, darling. It will come to you easy if you understand that you need some sleep. I'm sorry, Chad. Just close your eyes and try to sleep. Did it work? For a precious moment, there only is darkness and silence. But your mind refuses to calm down, and soon your thoughts start chasing each other in circles. Did I wash my hands after peeing? Did I unpack my luggage? Should I unpack my luggage? No, we're just leaving. We're not gonna talk to the freaking doctor anymore soon, right? Yeah. Unpacking? Nah, just go to bed. Okay. Okay. Damn, who's calling me? But another morning has passed and your ears are piercing by a ringtone that you swear to change years ago. Put your silent, ignored. You silence your phone as the mystery of the caller's identity teases you gently. I don't care. I want to sleep. Close my eyes again. Darkness surrounds you once more, but the images return, flashing quickly without your consent, a veritable carousel of impressions and experiences. What is happening? This is the afterlife. Are we dead? Besides a couple of coins, you don't carry much stuff with you. Room cards. As you carry, you should totally ignore phone calls. Exactly. Simple card with Rue Valley Motel Room 6 printed on it. A phone. With a gentle touch, the phone screen turns on again. Put it away. Catty receptionist. Oh, okay, so we are now in our minds. Feeling, inspiration, plan, idea, suspicion, determination popping up there. And I guess with every loop, we're discovering more and more about the people. So this is kind of like probably reflecting on your persona. Try to become better. And I guess you'll have to overstep your normal way of being into whatever's keeping you trapped, and then with that we'll probably break up the cycle and the loop is stopping. I don't know, I'm just theorizing here. From the blur of half-formed from memories and impression, an image of the receptionist emerge. You're desperately trying to catch her attention, but she completely grabbed by the ongoing phone call. Ring the desk bell and smile. You're so full of yourself, she probably despises you now. Like everyone else. Oh! I mean, that's normal. We were quite a Karen over there. The motel receptionist is a very talkative girl. That's a memory. Okay. Unexpected call. You hear a familiar sound. It's your annoying ringtone. You promised yourself to change it. Put it to silent and ignore it. Now, why would anyone answer the call from an unknown number? Someone called from the unknown number, but you decided not to answer the phone. I wonder how hard this was for the developers to put together all of the strings of multiple choices to make even sense with one another. And then despite all of you choosing left and right and up and down and have this butterfly effect, to even come to a conclusion and consensus and feel good. I'm really curious about when this game is completely out in not in Alpha Stadium anymore. Most of it is watching the video later on. Let me know if you are intrigued to watch a full playthrough of this as well. I'm intrigued. I love this unique kind of different settings in different games to your typical RPG or ARPG or whatever RPG. Still with me, Mr. Marrow. That's our doctor.
Still with me, Mr. Marrow?
Or a psychotherapist. Okay. We just nod. I conserve. Are you conserving your words or hiding the fact that you just don't have any? I bet it's the latter. You have survived the first session with your court-assigned psychotherapist. Despite your efforts to act normal, it seems like he plans to keep you here for some time. Okay, and then last but not least, we have our lady who's kicking the freaking machine. An image of a young woman appears. She's punching and kicking the old vending machine. Ignore her. Is that what it is? You have nothing to say, nothing to do, just bare minimum. A young woman apparently holds some kind of grudge against the vending machine in the local parking lot. As your consciousness keeps spinning around, the carousel of recent experience turns into a cyclone of painful memories repressed through a strange image. Okay. Condemnation. The figure of your angry father towers over you. Oh god, we're getting flashbacks from our youth.
It's not up to you to decide anymore. Not after what you've done.
Not for us to decide anymore. Not after what we've done. What could have we done, Chad? Do you have some theories? For those who know, don't tell me. Like Bean and Chibi. You can't do this to me. I'm my own man, Dad. Flames spark inside you, spewing into wildfire of defensive rage. From the deepest pit of childhood memories, warped by a tooth of time, an image of your father condemned you for something terrible that you have done. The attic. You're desperately searching for something in the dark, dusty attic full of broken furniture and random clutter. I would not go there. Simple as. Attic just sounds like the start of a horror movie. No. You don't recall ever being here before, but you know it's the attic of your own house, and every piece of old junk that you stumble upon just looks like an old doll that will try and become alive and try to kill you. Exactly. Exactly. No. Yeah, just open the chest where there's freaking Chucky in there. Inside the chest is a pile of old letters. Okay. You can't remember if they're yours, but you know they're not worth reading. Search behind a pile of crumbling, decades-old books. You carefully move the pile to the sides and discover another pile of even older books hiding behind it. While moving the second pile, despite your care, some of the books simply turn into dust, only for the third pile to be revealed of books so ancient you don't dare to even touch. Look below the moldy sofa. Don't look under the sofa. Not in the attic. There is a monster hiding out there. Look underneath the sofa and only darkness meets your eye. Yeah, I'm telling you. If you would throw me into the situation, I will go up there. I'll look at the situation. I'll leave it loud and get the F out of there. You stretch your arm reluctantly, but finally dust the dead insect shells. Okay, we're giving up on the addict. Sounds like a classic addict, yeah. You find yourself walking through a desert. Your eyes are fixed on the guide in front of you, and your feet are trying to keep up with their steady pace. But the distance between you keeps growing until the guide becomes merely a dot nearing the horizon. Once you finally admit you can't no longer see them, your body collapses onto the cracked earth below. You surrender to the bittersweet feeling of hopelessness and decide this spot will be your grave and the sun your executioner. There will be no swift act of mercy. No, you will be tortured and kept wishing for it all to just end. We have a total lack of motivation still, as we can see. We cannot summon our strength to get up. Just cry. No, just look into the sun. Exactly. Look up to your headsman. As you gaze at the sun, green and purple after images start appearing in your eyelid every time you blink. The sun, it keeps staring back at you relentlessly without the slightest intention of ever moving away from the zenith. While walking through the endless desert, you couldn't keep up with your only guides and accepted a slow, painful death under the merciless desert sun. Sheesh. Thank you, Gilda, for the lurk. Okay, this is because I zoomed in. Oh, this is interesting. So I'm kind of like browsing through my brain. And there's different layers to my brain function. So, emancipate the cocooned memories. Why bring back old painful memories? Better leave them hidden in the deep inside and forget about them, right? Or are you strong enough to confront them? I don't know. Let's see. Holds to commit. Not enough willpower. Don't worry, these are not real memories. These are prophecies. Or like random neural activity in your brain. Best forget about them. Well, they didn't feel random at all. Could be, but you're strong enough to confront them. But are you strong enough to confront them? Not yet. You hear a car? A screeching car? The sound of car engine and screeching tires urges to open your eyes, bring you back to the miserable reality again. Whirlwind of uncontrolled thoughts is still spinning inside you of your nostril, carrying a curious smell of dust, and your throat is dry as the desert. So we are not only having a lack of motivation, we are now thirsty as well. Okay. Fair enough. It was foolish to hope you'd fall asleep. Get up and get some water. Guess we don't have a mini bar or something? No? Bathroom? Get some water from the bathroom? Can we do that? Just drink out of the thing? Open the tap and drink some water. As soon as you turn up the tap, horrible smell fills your nostrils. It's like there's plumbing issue in the hell that blocked sewage is feeding directly into the fast faucet. Then you see the water streaming out of the tap. It's a healthy sheet of jet black mixed with chunks of silt. No! Nowadays everything is supposedly unhealthy. Why are we drinking this? As soon as the first drop of water enters your mouth, the taste of mud and sharp metal overwhelms you, and before you have a chance to stop, it reaches down your throat into your stomach. Will it have to be the most natural place to unload the content of your stomach? Oh! A last and horrible taste of heavy metals and toxic soil is out, replaced by the one stinging acid of semi-digested food. But instead of quenching your thirst, you expelled little liquids you had inside your stomach, making you even more weak and dehydrated. It may be too late for me. I'm going to die. That is certainly. This is great. I love it already. The only good thing of being paranoid did for me was make sure I didn't drink it at all, no matter how desperate I was. Interesting. Despite that, it made me read a contract for 3 hours. Wow. What can we do in the chair? The armchair looks exactly like the one in Dr. Frink's room. I mean, probably they're all copy-pasta rooms. I'm thirsty. Somebody gets into a nice car. Oh, he hits. You're the man yell from inside of the car. Even through the tinted windshield, you can feel his frustration.
Come on, start, you piece of shit.
He says to the car. Does it start? Looks like a Mustang from the back. Like the lighters in the back look like Mustang-ish. Having a smoke and throwing it out of the window. Here's just a little sidetrack, story sidetrack, Chad. I was driving down into Vienna. There is I think like 4 lanes going into the first kind of like circle street around Vienna. I think it's called Belt. And we're arriving at the traffic lights. I know that one specific traffic light takes quite a while to turn green again. So I was starting to look around, and I see somebody quite chunky sitting in a Mercedes. Everything is wooden inside, very nicely handmade. Looks like a high quality car, and he's having a can of Red Bull in his hand and a cigarette in the other one. He's like puffing, he's drinking, he's puffing again, and he squeezes the can a little bit and just lets it drop on the streets. I can't recall why I was so impulsive on that day and what got me so riled up, but that was like the little drop that made my barrel go over. Jumped out of the car, go next to my car, grab that can of Red Bull and just yeet it through his open window with full strength. It hits his wheel over his hand, and the rest of like a little bit of Red Bull was in there, just goes sploosh all over his wooden handmade interior, windshield, and whatever else he got hit there. So very sticky situation and probably very shitty to clean. He goes nuts. Chunky boy has a white shirt and a big golden chain as a necklace. Looks at me and yells that he wants to kill me. And I was like, the world is not your garbage bin. Take your shit with you and throw it away where it belongs and not on the streets, you dirty bag. And I think he didn't hear the last pause anyways, because he was getting out and wanted to start a fight with me. Luckily, 15 others, I think, were either semi out of the car or looking out a window, yelling at him that he should better step inside his car and drive off, or he will get problems. So I kind of got away with a lucky, angry warning of him. But I'm not sure it made me feel better that I just yeeted that in there. But yeah, I was very sad, very angry at him. Back to the game. Judging by the reckless driving you just witnessed, the man is either under the influence or another patient of Dr. Fing's. This maniac is about to kill somebody. Most likely himself. Come to think of, could it be that exactly what he's trying to do? Try to not think about it right now. Right, let's find something to drink. What would be cool is if the no WWE Mad Driver. If the voices or the different aspects of your personality have like different pitches of notes of voice acting. So one being deeper, one being higher, and a little bit like that Pixar studio movie with the emotions. Everybody being like a little bit uniquely showcasing into your brain talk. So we are thirsty shit. Yeah, not only my character jump, me too. You jump as if someone poked you in the stomach. Devs. Asshole. Hiding jump scares in isometric RPGs is something that I call out very often. That it's been looked over. That you are not using stuff to scare the player or make them jump. Like, even something crawling out, like, imagine you're playing some Alien Isolation thing, and then you have, all of a sudden, over the screen coming, like the facehugger. I would poop my pants. Because I would not expect that. In a split of a second, the whole world was exploding, but it was just the thunder. The loudest one you've ever witnessed. Guess Odin is angry at us. At least my reflexes still work. Apparently. I'm not sure about my heart, though. As well as your heart is racing from the sudden shock. I fully agree. But there's nothing to use this unwanted excess of adrenaline for, so it keeps lingering, eating you out from the inside while you stand alone and thirsty in the middle of the empty parking lot. Wow. Oh, look at that. There's a little reflection down there. There's the O missing now. Because the modal of the O went out. Was it out before as well? Didn't pay attention to it. Przemko, how you doing? Welcome in. For the Emperor, a little bit later. A little bit later, we're doing the 40 Emperor. Consider it a cardio training. I just joined our local American football team. My body feels like I got beaten up by 20 Russian mafia boys. Ice. Vending machine. Oh, we could get some drinks over here. So, the battery machine seems to be decades old, except for a newly installed comically large reddish button. Press the comically large button now. You just have to. Press the button! With a bang and a clang, the machine vomits out a bottle of water. That's it. Wait, does it mean water is for free? Check the label on the reddish button. It reads drinking water for the people of Rue Valley. Free of charge, courtesy of Coral Destiny. Okay. Take the water. We got a water bottle. Almost frozen plastic. Feels slippery in your sweaty hand. You can't wait to drain it of its precious fluid. Can we take another one? I'll just kick the machine as well. Bad machine. With assertive physical dominance over the non-sentient being. Exactly. Kick it again! Starting to understand that woman a little bit better. Perhaps she's not crazy after all. Okay, so we have our inventory over here at the bottom left. We have there our water bottle. Let's drink it, I guess. Label of the water bottle says Cruel Destiny. Gulp down the whole bottle. Gulp down the whole bottle. He's doing it! Nice. You know how they tell free cheese only in a mousetrap? The almost freezing liquid streams down your throat, some of it spilling down your chin. In a gulp of two, your thirst is quenched. That's exactly how you should drink drinks, you know? You gulp it, you let some things run into your beard. If you don't have a beard, you pretend like you have one and just enjoy the moment, okay? And then you like rub a little bit your face, and that's how you treat your beard to be flushy and nice looking like mine. Or if you don't have one, it's good for your skin. Might be bad if you're close, because when I'm dripping down this, we're not doing it on stream, because we might look very weird. Some Disco Elysium vibes, right, Golden? I've not played Disco Elysium yet. It's still on our playlist, but I've seen a few things, and it kind of gives me the same vibe, or similar vibe, and that's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. What in the... Suddenly, as it responses, the night sky turns blood red, and you feel an infinite streams passing through everything, and unbearable anxiety comes over you. Hide? But you can't hide from the whole sky of fire, and better than you can form your own past. Anxious apprehension. We got as a new trait now over our face over here. At least I don't have to face it. Close your eyes. Your eyes connect and darkness greets you for a mere second, but as always, the carousel of suffering starts spinning at once. That's easy. Simply stop being you. What kind of answer is that? What I wasn't expecting is you. The receptionist disappears, and instead the fiery sky begins burning its way through the darkness, cutting several straight, narrow slits in your closed eyelids. Oh, what is this step? Close your eyes, faster. Faster, tighter. Chat, close your eyes. Well then, keep craving, keep clinging, keep suffering. I have no choice. Red sky seeping through the cuts in your eyelids, forming a number. A number? Light is coming through my 8 p.m.
Still with me, Mr. Harrow?
The loop begins! And we have an extra thing. We have total lack of motivation and are anxious as well. Stop the curl cell and focus on something else. Surely there's something pleasant to think of instead of the bushy eyebrowed psychotherapist and this cold mundane therapy. I think of sexy. But Dr. Fink only seems to become more real. Damn it! Yes, sorry.
It's all right. I am aware that you may be experiencing a slight lack of motivation right now, and we'll surely be coming back to this condition of yours.
Okay. Lack of motivation, that's the least of your worries while your mind is filled with crushing, overwhelming sense of impotent... Wait. Did you hear that? Muffled sound of metallic clanging from the outside. The words of frail. So the lady outside is kicking the thing again. So Golden, you just joined in here. We are apparently captured in a time loop for some reason, and we're sitting here with this therapist and whatever's going on there. Dialogue feels a little bit quiet. Okay, let's turn this up. Think of something sexy, the doctor appears instantly. Right. 1 second. To deactivate chat bubbles, apparently they're lagging a little bit. Also, there's some sort of spike in either RAM or GPU that I can see, because my audio mixer bars and a lot of the things are just lagging like crazy. Stream is not lagging, game is not lagging though. But some out of focus of the game is definitely happening. So,
At all times, if possible,
Guilt-ridden. I'm terribly sorry, I wandered off. Could you repeat, please? We are guilt-ridden now, okay.
No worries, Mr. Harrow. You seem to have had enough talk for today anyway.
Dobson gives him a concerned look.
Mr. Harrow, you're shaking. Are you feeling unwell?
You endured a whole session stoically so far, but this one moment of anxiety, it could completely ruin your chances of being sent back home at any time soon. Emotional check. Try to act like a stable, well-adjusted person that you are. Red again. You open your mouth with an intention of convincing that you're fine, but the stress is just too high to control and it instantly overwhelms you. Cry your heart out. Your face wrinkles in a spasm and tears burst out of your eyes suddenly as your pressurized canister full of ocean water has been ruptured by a stray bullet. So we're like flooding out of the eye.
It's all right to let it out.
You recognize great compassion in his voice. Gradually, sob by sob, you calm down and your breathing slows down to its usual tempo.
There are tissues on the table if you need them.
Not reckless. Use a tissue. Oh! We lost a point from impulsive. Seems like we're not reckless anymore. Use the tissue.
Feeling a little better? Good.
Interesting. So our actions and this whole thing shifts the persona of the character.
May I ask, how is your sleep these days?
I haven't slept for months, Doctor.
Is that so?
Inspect the dark circles under your eyes.
Well then, if you happen to have trouble falling asleep tonight,
I can hover it. Oh, interesting, Chibi. I'll try hover over. He opens his hand and revealing a single purple pill lying on his palm. Chad, is this a matrix? Do we need to deal? What was the correct color pill? Was it blue or red?
There's no reflection in his glasses. Behind them, a pair of bushy eyebrows.
Reach for the pill.
remember, what I'm giving you is a mild, non-prescription herbal hypnotic drug. Nothing more.
A herbal hypnotic drug. Okay, take the purple pill.
Hopefully, it'll help you calm down and get some rest tonight. We'll continue tomorrow.
Okay, let's continue.
All right then. Now, you only need to pick up the key card for your room, and I'll call the reception to make sure everything is in order. Sounds good?
Thank you. Okay, let's have a look at his bathroom.
The exit is behind you. That's the bathroom.
May I use it, please?
Of course.
There we go. Oh, is there a hot lady picture? The book cover is dominated by a stunning redhead, her face smudged with makeup, her dress tight, shadow gathers all around her, but a gun in her hand shows she's ready for any danger. And with that, the collage, she's dressed to kill. Above the woman, the title, Lilith Undercover. Below her, the name of the author, T.J. Sampson. Spoiler literature. Okay, so with not lack of motivation, we could check it out. Purple pill. Dr. Fink told you to take the pills if you have problems falling asleep. Well, you don't know what's inside. Just thrust him. Throw the pill in. Just follow the pill. Alright, so you're just gonna swallow it right here without any liquids? Why not? Force it down your throat. Using saliva and lubricant, you help the purple capsule find its way down your stomach. You have no idea how long it will take to feel its effect again, so there's nothing to do but wait. There we go. A man with eyes red from crime meets your gaze from the other side. What's happening to me? He must have gone lost in the thoughts for a moment while the doctor was speaking. It couldn't have possibly happened more than a couple of minutes ago, but it's like an hour has passed. And then the sounds of that old alarm clock awakened you from a daydream you can't remember, and this overwhelming tsunami of dread appeared of nowhere. Let's see what the doctor keeps in here. Toothpaste, a roll of toilet paper, and a bottle of whiskey. Oh, alcohol and medication? Read the label. In purple old-fashioned font, it says, Numb Night Sour Mash. The recipe stays the same. 40% alcohol by volume of 80% truth. Take a few sips. Wait a second, you just swallowed a mysterious sleeping pill, remember? Are you sure it's a good idea to mix it with alcohol? Come on, it's a non-prescription drug. One small sip of whiskey won't kill me. Brip. I am getting tipsy. I'm getting tipsy and we lost a point in sensitive from the left side. From what it looks like it. A firm but austere-tasting liquid fills your mouth. After you swallow it, a dark, nutty, and salty flavor begins emerging from the underneath. Leave the bottle. Splash some water on your face to calm yourself down. As soon as you turn the tap, horrible smell fills the room. A stream of black water flows out of the old pipe. Whatever, it's not like I'm going to drink it. Proceed. We're throwing this in our face? As a splash of flaze, a few droplets enter your nostrils, immediately triggering the vomiting reflex. So the pill is gone, the alcohol is gone, and we're vomiting. Okay though, but the feeling passes in a moment. You realize the near vomit experience has actually helped you ground yourself a bit. Okay. Leave. Okay. This is intriguing.
Refreshed yourself? Feeling a bit better now?
Much better.
That's good to hear. See you tomorrow, Mr. Harrow.
See you tomorrow, Doc. We are tipsy. We see the lady over here kicking the thing. Can we interact with her now? Just get away from her. Anxious apprehension. Okay, let's explore a little bit. What do we have here? Plastic bottles, some empty, other half empty stuff, eaten breakfast. And Mittenberg's pool, you catch a glimpse of your own face. Better stay away. Okay. The sun still burns as bright as if it was in the zenith. Its heat absorbed by the asphalts. Setting up a foot on the pointless as your dreams, you need a car to get anywhere. Stare at the road for a while. A feeling of longing and restlessness starts to well up inside you. You can't help but wonder what lies beyond the horizon. But we got extroverted to the max now as well. But even if you weren't trapped here, you wouldn't go. You may long for the sense of adventure, but that comes from being on the road. Okay. Did he hit that thing? The transformer is buzzing softly. I only have my phone. Machine is doing its thing. What is now happening with the receptionist?
Yes. Now,
Of
turn
course.
right, and then immediately take a slight left.
All the attention of the girl from counter is grabbed by an ongoing phone call.
Yes. Now turn right, and then immediately take a slight left. Hold on, I've got someone on another line. Hello, reception. What can I do for you, Dr. Fink?
Raises her eye. Oh, it's Dr. Fink now calling for us.
Yeah.
In an instant, the realization dawns at you because of your crying outburst at the ends of the session. Dr. Fink must have just warned the receptionist of your condition. We're tipsy, let's wink at her. Huh? Receptionist? You and me, baby, me, nothing else matters. Wink, wink. Winks back at you, then smiles as she touches the button again. Got winked back.
Hey, listen. I have to go now, so let's... I know. We'll have to manage without it today. I know. Sorry. Bye.
Without what?
Hello, Mr. Harrow. How are you? Are you ready to check in?
Crying works better than being a Karen, apparently. I think everything works better than being a Karen. Just don't be a Karen.
Everything is in perfect order. Don't you worry a bit about anything.
Thank you. Her voice is full of enthusiasm.
So, number 6. That's
Number
the
6.
last one on the second floor. Everything is prepared for you, and this is your key card.
Thank you. Reach for the keycard. You stretch your arm politely, hoping she'll hand you the keycard, but she's completely ignoring your gesture and excitedly waving it around. Haha, keycard! Not you getting it. It's like playing with a little kid. Do you want some sweets? And you're like flying around his face around with it. So annoying. Just hand it over, say thank you, and don't be a dick.
I see you're confused by this. You were expecting an old-fashioned key, weren't you? Well, we've decided to modernize for a number of reasons.
Okay.
You must be very tired. Perhaps I'll tell you about it some other time. It's a really interesting story.
Okay, so I'm looking forward to hearing sometime.
Here, I'll just need your signature.
Because we're drunk, draw a stick figure instead?
All right. Thank you.
That's great.
I'm here if you need anything. Enjoy your stay.
Bye. Can we talk to her again? Desk of boring stuff. We cannot.
Sounds like
Okay, so crying out apparently made her not ignore us so much. What do we have here? It was already late in the afternoon when you saw this sign of the first time, but the bus door opened and a wave of desert heat into your face. All the other passengers of the almost empty bus remained seated, each lost their own world. None of them paid any attention to you as you gathered your belongings and prepared to leave the bus. I remember an older woman. Sitting in the back of the bus, her nose was buried in a book during the whole trip. Her wrinkled face was contorted in a look of intense concentration, as if she were trying to solve some complex puzzle. There was a young person with the bright pink hair. They were scrolling through their phone with a bored expression, seemingly completely disinterested in their surroundings as they lacked any real connection to the outside world. The burly man with a thick beard left an impression for sure. I was leaning against the window, staring out of the desolate landscape with a faraway look in the eye. He seemed lost in thought, as if trying to make sense of something that had happened to him a long time ago. I don't think I want to think about any of this people. And why would you? Even as you were leaving the bus, they meant nothing to you. But outside next to the bus sign, Dr. Fink smiling, his eyes were watching you, his brow dripping with sweats in the intense desert heat. He was already analyzed me, trying to think of anything he could use to keep me here as long as possible. Welcome to Rue Valley. He proclaimed like some poorly written NPC from an outdated video game. Breaking the fourth wall here, huh? I see what you're doing, devs. That's a good one. It all happened less than 2 hours ago, yet it feels like an eternity has passed since. Okay, okay. Let's go upstairs. Speaking of leaving an impression, chat, have you heard the new song of Linkin Park and the new singer, Emily? So fucking fantastic. Time Machine. I think it's called Time Machine, the new song. Really good. Let's try the knob without a card. I press the knob and push the door half expecting it to work. Not happening. Try it again. Still locked. Demon. Lock the door and enter. So we are tipsy with total lack of motivation. Let's quickly check out the bathroom. Nothing in here. Going back outside. Let's see. Dusty suitcase is there. Why am I afraid of unpacking? Perhaps you're scared of what you might find inside. Or maybe where that unpacking, you accept that you're going to stay here for some time. What could be inside, though? Me? Perhaps I could relax in the armchair instead. Let's relax in the armchair instead. Sit down. As soon as your buttocks touch the frayed armchair, your buttocks. Tiredness overwhelms you. Going to this nowhere motel to attend therapy you don't need has drained you both physically and mentally. All you want is to sleep, but the unwearing restlessness is eating you from inside, like a colony of termites munching one piece of dead wood. Short wolf, how you doing? Welcome in. You're in my suitcase. What a pitiful inert object. It's full of my stuff. Stuff, clothes, phone charger, toothbrush. Might as well be empty. But it isn't. Let's with my phone. Play a quick match of hyper-casual protagonists while you wait for the sleep to come. As soon as I'm opening it, an uneasiness starts building inside you. Playing this game right now, for some reason it feels unsettling. So it's supposed to be relaxing. It's not your fault, you're simply too nervous to play a stressful game like this right now. But a moment has passed and your ears are pierced of a ringtone that we've never changed. Let's answer the phone this time.
Hello, sir. Am I speaking with Eugene Harrow?
The line crackles heavily as if the man is speaking from a distant past. Who wants to know?
My name is Percy Rugger, and I'm a senior sales executive at
Percy
Ulterior
Rugger.
Paralegal Exploits Consultancy. We'd like to offer our help regarding your case.
Ulterior Paralegal Exploits Consultancy?
Well, Mr. Harrow, please don't let the name fool you. We are the most respectable yet cutting-edge agency, which means we work on the edge of, but still inside, the established legal framework. In fact, we are the leader in our field.
Is that so?
If my information is correct, you have recently been unjustly forced to participate in a treatment which, in our opinion, may have consequences not aligned with your best interests.
Are you referred to my psychotherapy here in the Rue Valley?
Mr. Harrow, let me be frank with you. I have no idea where this true valley of yours is, but we will work together to put an end to this undue response to your, well, unique situation.
Okay.
I mean, we have only known each other for a couple of minutes, and I can already see what a strong-willed individual you are. You know what you want, and nothing will stop you from getting it.
Yeah, we're getting phone scammed, but damn right.
So, I presume you're ready for the next step in our cooperation.
All right.
Now that's what I like to hear. Eugene, Mr. Harrow, you truly are a man of action.
Are we now? Odds a lie you didn't come in. Are we now?
I'll write down your general consent here and forward your case to my colleagues in our paralegal department. They'll contact you shortly.
Interesting. I thought we're gonna talk Space Marine talk a little bit later. I want to focus fully on this interesting RPG storyline, and I invite you to tag along. Okay.
Well, Mr. Harrow, it was a colossal pleasure talking with you. Tschüss.
A German? If you have a chance to see anything, the phone line is already dead. He's probably just registered all my lines of saying that, yeah, I agree and blah, and we're now contracted into something. But at least now you know you're not the only one realizing the absurdity of this mandated psychotherapy. Eventually bored and tired looking at the tiny screen, you put the phone down and finally admit it won't help you sleep. Well, back to the phone then. Let's scroll through some feed. You start scrolling, but every post looks like you've already seen it before. Same old, same old. Of course we have seen it before, because we're in a time loop. After some time, your focus fades away, you put the phone down. Just close your eyes and sleep well. It's basically doom scrolling, exactly. Okay, so we have now new inputs. For a precious moment, they're only darkness, but images flashing. Okay, so we have new inputs on the careless driver. Judging by the reckless driving you just witnessed, the man either is under the influence or other patient of Dr. Fink. This maniac is going to kill somebody. Most likely himself. When did this happen? This evening, but later. You saw a strange man entering a car and recklessly driving away. That's true. We did. So we now know a name of the caller that we did not before. You received a phone call from Percy Rugger, senior sales executive of the Ulterior Paralegal Exploits Consultancy. Pfft. Oh, that name alone for the company. The loudest thunder. For a split second, the whole world explodes. Well, at least my reflexes were good. As well as your heart's still racing. Fiery sky. Sunlight in the night sky turns red, and you feel an infinite stream passing through everything. Hide. But you can't hide from the whole sky of fire, and better you can from your own past. And then everything happened again. Everything again, but nothing after. Oh boy. The meaning of that, if you just experience, is still hard to grasp. Is this some weird deja vu? The memory seems surreal, and yet these things clearly never happened. Have you actually gone completely mad? And they were right to send you to Dr. Fink? What if this careless driver really shows up? What if lightning actually hits the hotel and the night sky turns red? There's a lot of what ifs. And these theories are linked together, it seems. Memory or fantasy? Holds to commit. Not enough willpower. You want to get up and find out these strange memories will pay out in reality, or if it's all but a fever dream of a lunatic. Yet you can't, it's still too much, and you really want is to forget everything about these weird visions. To forget about being here. To forget about the incidents. Stay in the armchair forever. Our back must hurt like crazy by now there. Sitting in the armchair. Seconds feel like minutes. Minutes like hours. Close my eyes again. Accept the image to return again any moment. But gradually your thoughts begin to slow down and your consciousness lightens its feverish grip on you. No turmoil! Anxious impression, status lost. And we lost another point in sensitive. Like from the left side, it's going into the middle part. What is the purple pill? Or was it the 9? It doesn't matter, nothing matters. Embrace the sweet relief. Like the leaf on the wind, you cast this way and that. Very dramatic. But what is this? Any tiny twig of light seems to have gotten stuck deep inside you. You must have broken away from the mighty tree of the brightest lightning that you have fantasized about earlier. A spark, still without shape, still without a purpose, but full of potential. Yggdrasil! The tree of life. Fuck. The sound of the loudest thunder jerks you out of your slumber. Status lost, total lack of motivation. There we go. The speck of energy, now fully grown, is pulsing your chest. You remember this feeling. And as you finally recognize what it is, your pathetic attempt of forgetting about what you experienced earlier is shattered. With now a brain button. Memory fantasy. Hold to commit. Intention acquired. You have to find out if the careless driver showed up again. You must know if the sky will really be set ablaze. You need to see if everything will happen again. If it does, you need to remember. Get up. Okay. The rain slacked off, and you see nothing of the ordinary, nothing you could put your finger on. If the careless driver visited the motel, he has surely left already while you were sleeping. Yet, as you exit the door, a hair raises on your neck, and the eerie sensation of takes hold of you. Glance toward the parking lot. As you stare the reflection on the wet, dark asphalt, the memory begins to unfold in your minds. He enters the car, starts the engine, and then hits the transformer while driving in reverse, crashing his rear lights before driving away in a cold cloud of smoke. If this really happened, you may be able to find some evidence there. The thick plottons. The plot thickens. Cormakian English. So I see some slight graphical glitch when he moves from the staircase to the bottom side, that he's like a short shadow going through the roof. It's true, we're still tipsy. We're talking in rearranged voice tongues. I'm such a detective. Damn good detective, you are so smart. Inspect the transformer. The transformer doesn't show any obvious sign of impact. Look at the shards. There are several small ones. scattered all around, translucent triangles of rhomboids. The largest of them is lying right next to the transformer, shiny and wet, staring at you boldly from the dirty asphalt. Let's inspect it. The shot is obviously part of a broken rear light. This means he's been here already. There's no other option. I knew I would find something here, and I did. So it has to be true. Probably. And then before you can wrap your head around it, the skies is ablaze again. What will happen now? Will you find yourself back to Dr. Fink's office in any moment? Will you remember anything? Or was this one-time thing and the evening will now continue as nothing happens? But baffled, you cast your eyes on your wristwatch. 2047. $8 p.m. again. Groundhog Day was the movie called, the old one with the one actor from Ghostbusters. We lost 1 point in impulsive. We're now having only 3 points, meaning we are just reckless.
Still with me, Mr. Harrow?
Yes, you have my full attention.
Mr. Harrow, I am aware of a slight lack of motivation you may be experiencing right now.
I was daydreaming. You were until the sound of your alarm clock awakens you. A muffled sound of metallic clang. And suddenly the image of the young woman punching and kicking the old vending machine emerges in your minds. But like the first rock in an avalanche, it's inevitable, followed by others, and more memories start to emerge. The receptionist, the thunder, the mysterious driver, and finally that you found yourself standing in the front of the transformer under the fiery sky, hoping you won't forget anything again. Memory or fantasy? As you struggle to put the memories in the correct order, you find a mark dissipated and 2 simple words from your own lips. Time loop. It's like you're trapped in some sort of time loop where 45 minutes repeat over and over again. Dr. Fink's voice pulls you back to the old motel room.
I don't think I follow, Mr. Harrow. Would you care to elaborate?
Oh, he threw away his notice book. He threw away his notice book. Hey, there we go. Rue Valley, ladies and gentlemen. What an interesting concept. A time loop isometric RPG where your choices matter and alter your personality, your emotions, how you think of things, how you behave to certain reactions. And you have to figure out what's happening and how you can stop and break free of the time loop. Rue Valley, for those watching the video on, the links to the game will be down in the description below. Feel free to check it out. Alcat Games, thank you kindly for the key, Emotion Spark. My fingers crossed to a great production time over there, and I can't wait to revisit this when it's fully out. Thanks a lot for tuning in.